Linda, and my plan for the morning was I had had this experience in meditation, and she was going to interview me about it, sort of like we would interview you about it. But here she is, not able to interview me, so I'll have to just kind of respond to some of the questions she might have asked me or even did ask me when we were coming up with this idea. So this week I had this experience in meditation, and although I am sure I've had it many times before, somehow it was notable this time. I was more aware of it. And it was this sense of going inward and it feeling really wonderful, special. And along with it came these words, inner sanctum. And on the other hand, it felt regular, like, oh, going inward in meditation is my inner sanctum. The thing that was interesting to me was first of all, that those words came with it. Like, the experience came first, and without trying to give it a name came, and it was these words, inner sanctum. So we looked up that word sanctum because, it's not a word I would use usually, actually. And some of the definitions we found in the dictionary were a very private room or place. In Hebrew, it's called the holiest of holies. I might have gotten that word from my past experience in being active in Judaism. It's also called a sanctuary, a refuge, a retreat. Those are two very Buddhist words, refuge and retreat, or a shrine. So the other interesting thing I noticed, and again, this is from this reflective process, and sort of going back and picking up more about it, or even in the meditation, picking up more about it. But I became aware that it had a bodily location. And that was here in my heart center, not where my physical heart is, but more central in my body, but in that area. Now, you can well imagine that that could be a guidance in a meditation. Put your attention to the heart center. It's many guided meditations would say that. But it wasn't like that, because this is a receptive practice. It was more that I felt, I had the experience, I noticed it had a bodily location. And then the words came, inner sanctum. I'm not sure it was in that order, but something like that. So again, that is a feature of what we do in reflective meditation. We don't try so much to, create the experience, but the experience comes to us and we honor it with our awareness, with our attention. And right now with this Dharma talk, it's actually helping me honor that experience. But then what do I mean by inner sanctum? Because I remember back in my own life where going inward was not an inner sanctum. It was full of all kinds of yucky stuff. Now, not to say sometimes I don't go inward and there is really difficult things to deal with, but there still is the inner sanctum from which to deal with them. There's something about that inward place that's, it's friendly is what it is. I'm friendly towards my inner experience. Or another way of saying it, there's internal metta. And that's for the good stuff, which this experience was, but it's for the hard stuff too. And that develops, right? I mean, I really do think that most of us do not start out from that place. We are much more conditioned to be harsh with our inner world, or to be aversive to our inner world, or to, keep trying to make it better or fix it. And then last night I went to listen to some live music, which even the musicians were quite excited about, that we were there in person. But I love this music. This is one of my favorite musicians. In fact, I hired her for our wedding. That's how much I like her. I noticed that the way that when I really could get focused on the music, it was quite the same. Again, I might not have noticed this if I hadn't been thinking about all this week. But I notice I close my eyes and I actually listen for my heart center, like really go inward in that place and let the music in, like almost like open door, come on in. And so that really makes me curious about how I experience things from the heart center. And I just really wonder, is that similar? Do you experience things from a certain place in your body? Different things maybe from different places? I don't know. I just become tuned into this. And again, if Linda was interviewing me, she might have some very good questions for me, but she's off without power there in Southern Cal. Um, and there's another part about this, and I think this is a feature, again, of reflective meditation. But by really being aware of something like this and really honoring it, it really kind of expands out, and not by trying to do it, but really by the awareness itself. And then by maybe the name. The name came to me. I don't think I would have chosen the name Inner Sanctum if I'd been thinking about it cognitively. But when it came, it felt like it really honored the experience. Again, maybe even gave a sense of holiness to it. Of course, then my experience in meditation shifted and changed into something different. And of course, last night, listening to the music, my mind strayed at times, and I noticed the guy next to me who was serving food to other people, etc. But there is something about it that really lingers, a positive feeling. So that's why I'm honoring it some more by speaking about this right now. And I really encourage you to honor your experiences by speaking about them. And I think I'll end there.